Hey girl, hey, reporting live from my vehicle today. I tried making this video in my room, and we moved our room from downstairs to upstairs, and the lighting in there is just horrible. You would think it'd be better, but it sucks. So I'm here today because the lighting is good in the car, and I just got a new mount. So here we are. So this pregnancy has been so hard on me. Like, if you watch my first video I ever made on here, I was telling you about how I didn't even find out I was pregnant with my son till I was 26 weeks, which is 6 months. And that one was so easy. Like, I had no complications. This one I got everything wrong. So I had a really bad morning sickness. I never actually threw up, but I felt nauseous like every single day. My back feels like it's dying. Like, it feels like my muscles are ripping apart and I'm gonna die. And I failed my glucose test, so I have gestational diabetes. And now I have preeclampsia. It's so cute. Oh no, what is going on, lighting? What happened, sis? What happened? Okay, there we go. So the gestational diabetes on its own was already gonna have me to deliver at 39 weeks. And then when I went to my 30-week appointment, my blood pressure was super high. This whole time, like, even when I'm not pregnant, it's always like 120/80, like, you know, normal. And then at my 30-week, they checked it and it was 145 over, I think, 90. And so they were like, oh, let's just check it again in a minute. Maybe it's like nerves or something. What is going on? Come on. I'll hold it while I'm waiting. So they were like, let's check it again in a little bit. So then they did, and it was even higher. It was 165. So they're like, oh, we have to send you to the hospital, which is across the street. They're like, let's send you to the hospital. They're gonna monitor you for a couple hours. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I get there and it wasn't really going down. And so they're like, okay, if we have to deliver the baby, you can't do it here because I was only 30 weeks and that hospital only takes babies after 34 weeks. So they were like, you have to take an ambulance to the other hospital. It's only, the hospital's probably only like 10 minutes away, but they said I had to take an ambulance because they had started me on this magnesium IV, because if your blood pressure gets high like that, you're at a chance for a stroke, so, or seizures, one of them. But they're like, just in case, we have to put you on this, and they give you like this big dose in like 20 minutes, and my blood felt like it was on fire. It was horrible. And so then they were like, since we have to transfer you, you have to keep the IV in, so you have to take an ambulance. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I can drive, I can have my husband drive me. And they was like, no, you have to take the ambulance. I was like, okay, whatever. So I take the ambulance. He couldn't even go in there with me. He had to, you know, drive the car. So I was only expecting to be there for a couple hours, and the doctor's like, well, in case you have to deliver the baby, if the blood pressure doesn't get down. And at first she just talks a lot, and so she was talking to herself, and she kept talking. And at first I was only gonna stay overnight, and the more she talked to herself, then it was 2 nights, and then another night. And I was like, oh, okay, let's just stop talking, sis. Let's just calm down for a second. So we get to the other hospital, and my blood pressure is getting better, whatever, but they still want to keep me on this drip. You're supposed to stay in there for 48 hours. So they did an ultrasound on me that night, and they seen that he was transverse, so he was like laying across my stomach in there. And the next morning, this doctor that I don't like at all, like, I switched from her, she was like, in the morning when she came in to check, because, you know, the on-call doctor, whoever's there, just comes and checks, and she's like, yeah, so he's flipped, so if we have to deliver the baby, it's gonna have to be C-section. Like, pretty much that's all she said. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So then the next day, a different doctor comes in, and I've never even seen this man before. This old man. He was like, yeah, you're so high risk that I don't even know if this is the best place for you. You might have to go to the university hospital that's downtown Minneapolis and stay there till we have to deliver the baby at 34 weeks. And I was 30 weeks at this time. So I was like, my kid's starting school in 2 weeks. Like, I can't be in a hospital for I can't be in there for 4 weeks. That's like, of course, if I had to, I would be. But I'm like, I can't really do that. And so he's like, okay, we'll wait to see what your high-risk doctor says, because with the gestational diabetes, they have you see somebody called the MFM, maternal fetal medicine doctor. So I already see her. So they was like, oh, we'll wait till she comes to see what she says. Like, pretty much she's the boss. And so then she comes and she just sees that, like, my blood pressure is fine again. And then to have preeclampsia, you have to have the protein in your urine, you have to have protein in your urine and have high blood pressure together. And I didn't have any protein, and my blood pressure was getting better. So when she came, she was like, we're gonna take you off of this IV. Like, you're probably gonna be fine to go. We'll keep you overnight after you get off the IV just to monitor. And then if you're good to go, then you're good to go. So I was fine, and all these people were like trying to scare me about having a C-section and all that. So she said I was fine to go. So that happened. So I was in the hospital. I went there Monday after my appointment, and I left. I didn't leave till Thursday. That was kind of sucky, but I'm glad my dad was able to take care of Lo, because I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, what if my dad wasn't here? Who's gonna watch this kid all day while I'm in the hospital? I mean, of course Quita would, but I wanted him there with me. And then a couple weeks later, 2 weeks later, so after that, they told me I had to start going to the doctor 3 times a week. I had to go to my high risk twice a week for what's called the BPP. They measure the baby's fluid. They check his movements. They see if he's practiced breathing in there and something else. So I had to do that twice a week, and then they wanted me to go to my regular OB once a week to do labs, like take my blood and pee in a cup and all that stuff. So that's what I had to do. So then after one of my high-risk doctor's appointments for the ultrasound, they see that his heart rate was really high. Like it normal is between 110 to 160, they said, and the baby's was like 180, and then even hit like 200 one time. And so they were saying if that could mean that he's in distress, or that like my placenta's detaching, and like that I would have to have the baby that day. And I think that day I was only like, I think I was either 32 or 33 weeks, so I was still really it was still early to have the baby. But they sent me to the hospital that can deliver at 28 weeks that I had to transfer to. They just sent me there automatically just in case. And so they had took some lab that I guess checks for blood clots or something, or the remnants of them, like if you had them, and I guess whatever my level was like a little elevated, so they wanted to keep me overnight to check to see if it got higher in the morning, because if it got higher, that would mean that I would have to have the baby, because like the placenta was like falling apart or whatever. So good thing in the morning the levels dropped, and they said the baby's heart rate was probably high, because when I got to the hospital they checked my blood sugar and it was like 60, which is so sorry. Like I was saying, when I got there, my blood sugar was like 60. So if mine's low, that means the baby's is low. Like after I eat, for example, it should be under 140. So 60 is like way low. And I had ate that day too. I don't know why I was so low. So they were saying, like, as adults, if our blood sugar gets low, you know, we get like really jittery, really antsy. Like, you know, when you get hangry, it's probably because your blood sugar is low. Like you're like freaking out. So that's probably why the baby his heart rate was so high, because my sugar's low, his sugar's low, he's probably freaking out, whatever. So I got to go home that day, and then everything has been pretty cool since then. My labs from 2 weeks ago showed that I do have protein in my urine, so I now officially have preeclampsia. I can't work anymore because they want me to just relax and keep my blood pressure down, because if my blood pressure gets high, then I have to have the baby, like no matter what day it is. So I was already supposed to get induced at 39 weeks due to the gestational diabetes, but now that I have preeclampsia and all that happened, now I have to deliver at 37 weeks. And today I am what day is it today? Friday. I don't know, I'm like 35 weeks and something days. On Tuesday I'll be 36 weeks, so I have 10 days left. So they're like, I've had 3 steroid shots for the baby's lungs. They give you shots when you're in the hospital to help develop the baby's lungs in case they have to come early. So I've got 3 of those already. So pretty much any day now, like anytime I go to one of these appointments and they check my blood pressure, if it's high, it's time for the baby. So yeah. The other day I was over it. I was kind of hoping they'd be like, today is the day, but my blood pressure wasn't high enough to go to the hospital or whatever. So I go today. Today's Friday. I go to the high-risk doctor to do those ultrasounds on Mondays and Fridays. So today is my appointment to go do that. Yeah, I'm just can't wait to have this baby, because I'm really uncomfortable and I'm tired of going to the doctor every 5 seconds and getting sent to the hospital every 5 seconds. So I made sure we have our bag packed, you know, like clothes were in the hospital, and I got the car seat the base in the back. Like, we are ready. Whenever this baby's ready, we ready too. Whenever born ready, we ready. But yeah, so this pregnancy has been way different. It definitely confirmed that I'm not doing this ever again. Everybody's like, are you gonna try for a girl? Because it's 2 boys. I'm like, no. Because plus, knowing my luck anyway, it would be 3 boys. I would just have 3 boys trying to get a girl. So I'm not gonna do it again. But yeah, so if everything is fine at these next appointments, then I will go in to get induced on October 1st. So baby is head down. He's in the position ready to go. If everything goes good, then I can have regular delivery. I won't have to have a C-section if it goes good. They said because with Lo, I had to get induced because he was overdue. They had to, like, you know, give me the Pitocin and, you know, all that stuff. So they said since I already had one successful induction, this one will probably be cool too. Of course stuff can happen, but you know, they said I should probably be okay. So I don't know if you guys want to like see my appointments. They're kind of boring. I don't know if I should vlog that. It's funny because like I don't like making videos because I'm like, I'm boring, but I watch the dumbest stuff. So I'm like, if I'm watching this dumb stuff, maybe somebody wants to watch me do dumb stuff. I don't know. So yeah, I have a couple appointments next week. Maybe I'll vlog next week. Otherwise, the next video will be, maybe I should do what's in my bag, but I don't really know what to put in there. Or I'm like, I see people do all this extra stuff. I'm like, don't you just need like clothes? I don't know. Yeah, otherwise the next video you'll see will be meeting the baby. Okay, if you guys watch this, thanks for watching. I ramble a lot, I talk a lot, so if you watch this, thanks for watching. Okay, see you in the next time. Bye.